my life in the sunshine. Everybody loves the sunshine.
So the question is asked, whose report will you believe? I don't remember much about my biological father because he died shortly before my 5th birthday. But the crazy thing is, I do remember one event. It was a whooping that I got. So it must have been a pretty good whooping because I'm 37 years old and I still remember it and I was only 4.
All right.
I even remember why I got the whooping. So that was pretty impactful. We used to live in a 2-family house on Martin Luther King Drive, not too far from here. My mother, my father, my sister, and I, we stayed upstairs. My grandmother, my aunt, and my cousin David stayed downstairs. So since my cousin was downstairs, I spent most of my time downstairs with my cousin. We're about the same age. We're 2 months apart. So we played. We hanged out all the time together. My grandmother had this couch or this sofa that she had in her dining room, and we would play on that sofa. And I don't know, we were playing Pirate or something that day. I remember we were jumping up and down playing on this couch. And I heard my mother call from a distance. So my mother often would go to the top of the stairs in the back hall, and she would call my name, and I know they're coming out. We're jumping, we're playing, having so much fun. I heard her call my name, and I stopped. And my cousin asked me, why'd you stop jumping? First of all, we shouldn't have been jumping on the couch in the first place. But he asked me, why'd you stop jumping? I said, I think I heard my mother's voice. He said, man, no, that wasn't your mother. He said, come on, let's keep playing. So I went on back to playing, and we're jumping and playing. And a few minutes later, I heard my mother call my name again. Now this time, I knew it was mother's voice. I didn't stop to debate it with my cousin. I jumped off the couch. I ran up the stairs to see what my mother wanted. My mother walked me into the back room to see my father. My father was laying in the bed, and I remember he asked me a question. He asked me a couple of questions and didn't get the answer that he wanted. He said, son, he said, did you hear your mother call you the first time? I said, well, yes, I heard her call me. He had a second question. He says, well, why didn't you come? My answer, I thought, was going to get me out of trouble. I said, well, my cousin David told me that wasn't her calling me. He said, but did you hear her calling you? I said, yes, sir. I don't know what happened next, but I do recall some pans being brought down because parents didn't believe in whooping the clothes they bought. And I remember my bottom getting tore up. And I learned something on that day. You have to be very, very careful whose report you're going to believe.
All right.
If you know the sound of your mother, the sound of your father, and somebody else tells you, well, God didn't say that, your father didn't say that, you got to go after the voice that you're familiar with.
Amen.
The voice that you listen to, the report that you respond to may save or cost you your very life.
Amen.
In Mark chapter 11, as we already read, I'll read it again. It says, and on the morrow, when they were come from Bethany, he was hungry. And seeing a fig tree afar off having leaves, he came, if happily he might find anything thereon. And when he came to it, he found nothing but leaves, for the time of figs was not yet. First point, your existence creates expectation. Your existence creates expectation. Well, what do I mean? The fact that you are here, we expect something from you.
Amen.
As long as you are living, as long as you are breathing, as long as you are existing, we expect something from you.
All right.
There is a reason for you to be here.
All right.
And I promise you, there's a reason for you to be here today.
All right.
I haven't talked to your pastor about this, but I can pretty much guarantee you the reason why he wants you here is not because he needs more imprints in the cushion.
All right.
There's a purpose for you to fulfill. There is a job for you to do. There is an expectation on your life. I know some of us say, well, I'm too young. There's an expectation on your life. Some of you may be saying, well, I'm too old. No, there is an expectation on your life. Maybe you didn't finish high school. There's an expectation on your life. Maybe you haven't graduated from college. There's an expectation on your life. I don't care what excuse you come up with, there's still an expectation on your life. Your existence brings about expectation. As I was looking at this text, I thought that Jesus might have been a little bit harsh. Because because he looks at this fig tree with expectation. And he says that he knew that it wasn't the season for figs to be born, to be produced. He knew it. It wasn't fig season. And yet and still he went to this tree with the expectation of getting figs. And I know some of us like to use the excuse, well, maybe it's not my season.
Wow.
Unfortunately, there is still an expectation on your life to produce today.
All right.
Right now, a lot of times we say, well, I'll do it when. Or I'll do it after. We're waiting for the right season. And we believe that when this magical, mystical season happens, that'll be the day when I get it right. That'll be the day when I produce that fruit in which I was purposed. That'll be the day. And Jesus says, today is that day.
All right. All right.
There's an expectation, and the excuse of season is not going to be good enough. The sad reality of it, though, is the fruit comes from the tree, correct?
Right.
So there is fruit in that tree. The problem was the fruit wasn't coming out of the tree. The fruit's in there. It just needs to come out of it. And so there are many people who are hungry and starving because the fruit that's inside of us, we haven't let it out.
All right.
There are too many of us who will die and go to our graves with fruit still in us. With things that we're supposed to do still in us. With goals and dreams and visions still in us. Hiding behind the excuse, well, it wasn't my season.
Yeah.
Your season is now.
Yeah.
Your season is today. Imagine having to face that person one day, maybe not in this life, but maybe the next, and seeing them and saying, well, I apologize that you were starving. I had the fruit that you needed, but I was scared. I had the fruit that you needed, but I had low self-esteem. I had the fruit that you needed, but I was too focused on the fact that I didn't do very well in school. It was in me. The very thing you needed, it was in me, but I had all these other disturbances in my life that kept me from doing it. I didn't have the time. I had to work too many hours. None of those excuses puts food in their belly.
Amen.
None of our reasons for not doing the thing that we're called to do saves the life that we're supposed to save. As long as you have existence, there is an expectation. Jesus goes on in verse 14, it says, and Jesus answered and said unto him, no man eat fruit of thee hereafter forever. And his disciples heard it. Second point, every word has power. Every word has power. When I was little, we used to have this saying that sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you.
Well,
I don't know if there is a more true lie than that one. Words won't only hurt you, they will kill you.
Yeah.
Words will literally take your life. The Bible puts it this way. It says that death and life are in the power of your tongue.
Yes.
The reality of it is, many of us have been killing ourselves. We've been killing ourselves. Words have power, and they will bring back to you the very thing that you speak. Look how many times we say, I'm broke. And look how broke you are.
wow.
I'm sick. And look how sick you are. I'm unhappy. And look how unhappy you are. I hate my job. And look how much you hate your job. You speak that we've been using the power of words, but we've been using them negatively again. We've been killing ourselves. We kill our relationships. We kill our opportunities. Nobody will choose me. I always get picked over for promotion. We speak these things, and we always get exactly what we speak. I'm going to fail this test.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We speak it,
Yes.
and then we get it, and we act surprised. You got the very thing you spoke. You forgot that words have power. The Bible says life and death. It says death and life are in the power of your tongue. We've been speaking death. How about for one season we choose to speak life?
Amen.
Just for a little while. How about you speak life over yourself? I'm a little bit newer, school, if you will, untraditional. And people come to me and say, will you pray for me? My response most of the time is no. you pray for you. Because the reality of it is, in the midnight hour, I'm not going to be there. The reality of it, when you're really going through, I won't be around. There's a good chance when you need me most, I won't answer my phone.
All right.
The only person you will have on this planet is you.
Yeah. Amen.
And here's the deeper part. I'll throw this one in for free. Why do you think God would answer my prayer for you before he would answer your prayer for you? It's for you.
Yeah.
What's wrong with your relationship with God? You need to ask somebody else to ask God for you.
Yeah.
You like that little kid, he said, hey, go ask my mama, can I spend the night over your house? You go ask your mother, can you spend the night over? That's your father. And if there's a problem with the relationship that you don't feel you can go to him, that's something you can fix today.
Yes.
Your words have power. It doesn't just stop there. We read it earlier. He said that if you speak to a mountain, it moves. There are some extra requirements. You have to speak and believe. Because see, I teach my children or teach my students about communication. 93% of communication is nonverbal. So we'll say, I believe God with our mouth, the 7%. But your facial expression, your body energy, your actions, the 93% say you doubt. And so you get what you truly speak. Your speaking, your bodily speaking says God won't do it, and he doesn't. Your bodily, your energy, your posture, how you carry yourselves says I am sick, and you stay that way.
All right.
I am poor, and you stay that way. I am single and alone. First of all, you got a jacked up attitude. Yes, you will be single and alone.
Yes.
You can speak and prophesy all you want. You can hook a Messiah on the floor, lay hands, put on oil. But until you get you right and your energy and how you truly speak, what you truly believe, none of that's changing.
Amen.
Your words have power. Let's start using them for our own benefit now.
Amen. Amen.
He goes on finally, we skip down to verse 20, he says this. And in the morning, as they passed by, they saw the fig tree dried up from the roots. And Peter calling to remembrance saith unto him, Master, behold the fig tree which thou cursest, it is withered away. The sad reality of it is that some of us, our lives are withered away. Some of our lives are just withered away. They're just poor resemblances of what they used to be. There's very little life in us. For some of us.
Yeah.
We're just waiting to that day when God calls our name and our number.
Yeah.
Isn't that a sad existence?
Yeah.
If you wake up, you ought to wake up excited. I told the church this morning, should nobody be more excited about you than you?
Yeah.
No, I don't need you to cheer me on. I don't need you to pump me up. I like me. I like what God is doing in my life. I don't need you to make me excited about me. Now, you might have to make me excited about you. But I don't need your help being excited about me. It's my life. As far as I know, I only get one of them.
Yeah.
So I might as well make the best of it.
Yeah.
Like remember your first car?
Yeah.
Some of y'all, that's in the future. When you get that first car, it may have been a used car. Like they're putting turtle wax on it.
Yeah.
You waxing rust spots.
Yeah.
You can't wax rust away, but you waxing it. You got bald tires, but then the shiniest bald tire you don't ever seen. You cleaning the why because it's your car.
Yeah.
You appreciate it.
Yeah.
Man, what if you treated your life that same way?
All right.
Gave yourself the best.
Yeah. Amen.
You only get one of them. Your third point.
Yes.
The reason why is, third point, is you have to examine your ear bank. Your ear bank. That bank that where you keep everything that goes in your ears. You've got to examine that. See, I looked at this story from the flip side. Jesus spoke to the tree, and the tree responded to what Jesus said. And we all are like that tree. We are the response or the result of what some other people have said.
Yes.
Some of you struggle in school because somebody told you weren't smart. Some of you struggle in business because somebody told you you'll never be successful.
Right.
Some of you struggle in relationships because somebody told you no man or no woman will ever want you. We listen to what somebody else's thought process caused them to say, and now that's our experience. We let what somebody else said dictate how we feel, dictate what we experience. So you got to go, some of y'all need to go through and start doing an inventory of what's in your head. And start asking, well, where did that thought come from? did I start to believe I wasn't good enough? When did I start to believe I wasn't smart enough? When did I start to believe I wasn't talented enough? When did I start to believe that lie? Where did that come from? Because I need to do like return to sender. Some stuff you just got to send right back. Some stuff you just got to send right back. We store all of those things in our ear bank. It's time for us to take a withdrawal and send that right back. Question: how many of you really want to change your life?
Amen.
Oh, that's not rhetorical. How many of you really want to change your life?
Yes.
I'll be honest with you. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I believe most people want to change their life,
Yes.
but they don't want to change their life.
Right.
Your energy, your passion, your posture, everything about you should tell me you want a different life.
Yes.
I promise you, a different life doesn't come easily. Because the life you got right now didn't come easily.
Amen.
You worked hard to be in the mess you in.
Amen.
You worked hard to develop that struggle.
Yeah.
You were disciplined in watching TV.
Yeah.
You were disciplined in being late. And all the stuff that created your life, you worked hard at it. It's going to take even more work to change it.
Amen. Amen.
Imagine a locomotive going 100 miles per hour. You know how much energy it takes to get that locomotive going?
Yes.
Imagine this, how much energy it's going to take to get that locomotive to stop.
All right.
Your life is a powerful locomotive. You got some momentum going behind it. It's going to take some energy for you to change it around. That little piddly-poundly, I'm going to do a little bit here and a little bit there, won't be good enough.
All right.
You got to get tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired to say, today the last day.
All right.
Today is the last day. And anything that's in my head that says anything contrary to that, I got to get rid of it. As a matter of fact, the people who are in my life, who are telling me those things that I don't need to hear, they got to get away from me. If you're not helping me get to where I need to go, you are my enemy. With a smile on your face, you got to go.
Amen.
This is my life we're talking about here. I only get one of these. I can't let you mess it up. You might have to cut up your mama, your daddy, your auntie, your uncle, your sister, your brother, your best friend. So what? This is your life. They living their life. You got to live yours. Maybe they want to stay in their mess. You can't do anything about that. You get out of your mess. Mentor once told me, he said, you know the best thing you can do for poor people? The best thing you can do for poor people? Don't be one of them. If you see somebody drowning and you can't swim, jumping in doesn't help them. Come on now. You got to get your life together. I know this is hard. I know this is hard because we've been taught to put everybody else before yourself. That's not always the smartest decision. The plane is going down and we're losing oxygen and the mask dropped and it's me and my child sitting there. Whose mask do I put on first? Incorrect. You put your arms on. You put yours on. You put yours on. Because if you pass out while trying to put theirs on, you'll both die. But if I can get mine, I can help him out and probably some other folk too. The problem isn't that we're too selfish. The problem is we ain't selfish enough. You got to look out for you. You got to protect your ear gate. You got to protect your eye gate. You got to do it. Ain't nobody else going to do it. You have to look out for you. When something don't make sense, you'll say, baby, that just don't make sense. You don't need anybody to agree with you. Check this out. This is why your ear gates are so very important. What goes into your ears ends up in your thinking. What you continually hear becomes what you continually think. What you continually think becomes how you continually feel. How you continually feel impacts how you continually behave. And how you continually behave dictates what you continually experience. So if you want to change your life, you got to work that backwards. If you want to change your experience, you got to change what you do. But you don't start there. If you want to change what you do, you got to change how you feel. Most important thing is you have to change how you feel about you. You got to like you. Because if you don't like you, why would you change? You got to like you enough to change. You have to love you enough to change. I love me too much to stay the same. You got to feel this thing. But past your emotions, in order to change how you feel, you got to change how you think. In order to change how you think, you got to change what you listen to.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, but y'all got to change what y'all listen to. Some of the stuff you watch, you got to stop watching that garbage.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff you listen to, you got to stop listening to that garbage.
Yeah.
Some of them people you listen to, you need to stop listening to that garbage. Quit giving them your time. When you pick up your cell phone, it gives you two options. Answer and decline. I advise you to choose the latter. Decline. And they'll know you put them in voicemail. They'll get the hints. Some folks, you just got to stop giving them your time. This your life we talking about here. I'll give you a closing testimony. If somebody is telling you, giving you an answer you don't want, go with somebody else. I don't believe in no. I don't believe in no. No is not an option. You can't tell me that I'm a child of the Most High God and those are options. No to your no. My son, when he was younger, he had the doctor diagnosed him with epilepsy and told me that this was just something I was going to have to learn to deal with. We could manage it. And when I first heard it, I struggled with it because I'm like, he's the professional, though on his door it just says practice. He's the professional, but then there was something on the inside of me that was not willing to accept his diagnosis. His diagnosis was, they give me this big old pen that I got to stick my son with whenever he goes into his epileptic seizures. And I'm just sitting there like, I can't stick my son with this. They're like, but you just got to deal with it. And I went to one doctor, and he said, this is just what it is. And I went to another doctor, and he said, well, this is just what it is. And I said, well, forget it. I'm going to just stop listening to doctors. Because clearly they don't know something that I know. I don't have a PhD, but I knew more than they did. Right. I knew I was unwilling to accept this diagnosis over my child. So my child, we're not going to be sick. So guess what I did? I called people who had faith.
All right.
I didn't, listen carefully, I didn't just go and get some church folk.
Amen.
I didn't just go call my pastor. I called people who were willing to believe God with me. Not pray for me.
Yes.
I don't need your prayer. I was already doing that. I need people who pray and believe. I need somebody we can start sending forth positive energies of change. And so it was a few women at my church, and they came together with us, and we prayed. And he hadn't had a seizure since, but my faith got tested. Because a couple of years ago, we were applying for this thing called life insurance. And when we went to get my son covered, it came up on his record that he had epilepsy. And I said, well, my son doesn't have epilepsy. I decree and declare that it's gone. And they said, well, this doctor report right here says epilepsy. So who are we going to listen to? They said, well, this is what we need you to do. We need you to go to the specialist and have them check your son. I said, well, if you're going to pay for it, I'll go. But I'm not going to pay for it for him to tell me what I already know. He don't have epilepsy. It was a very difficult moment in my life because the enemy tried to rise up. And I had to start speaking to myself. Because his voice was getting loud, like, see, they're going to do this test. You're going to find out you was wrong all these years. It was just sitting quietly. It wasn't really gone. You were just hiding. It was just, I said, no, he's healed. So we went to I took him to the specialist, and I told the specialist, I don't know why I'm here. I'm literally here to waste your time. I literally sat over in the corner and played video games on my phone while they ran tests. So he finished running the test for about a half an hour or so. He says, well, Mr. Streeter, I've got some good news. I'm like, oh, do tell. He said, well, your son doesn't have epilepsy. I said, get out of here. Yeah. I guess he expected me to be excited about the news. You just found out. I've been new.
That's right.
So you be excited.
Yeah.
I make up in my mind what I want, and I'm not willing to accept anything less than what I'm believing God for. Period. Period. This is my life. And anybody that says anything short of that, they got to go. My kids can tell you how many friends come over my house. None. We keep an empty house. Why? Because listen, if you're not talking that talk, you're not walking that walk, listen, how can two walk together unless they agree? I'm believing God for some great things. Does anybody with me believing God for some great things? The question is, whose report do you believe? Do you believe?
My life, my life, my life, my life.